guys. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but yeah, remember the VBA cable does not work, so heads up for you guys. Well, we're team E7131, and we're here to do our final presentation. My name is Gian Iqbal.
I'm George.
I'm Vivian.
Quentin.
I'm Derek.
Cool. So today we're going to be covering three major topics, right? We're going to be doing an introduction about what the goal was for our project, as well as who our audience is. Secondly, we'll be focusing on the work that led up for the past 2 semesters to this presentation. And then finally, we're going to do a demo for this application. So let's just first get into what it is.
So our app is called Let's Face It. It's basically a name memorization tool where you can think of it as a people rememberer. It's backed up by data, pretty simple data. It's just people's faces and their names. And people are going, memorization is done with gamification. All you're going to be doing is taking quizzes. So we have 2 types of quizzes. When given the name, you can choose the correct face or the other way around. There's also going to be the capability to sort people into groups. So you can take quizzes inside a specific group, and then it can also help you kind of remember in what context you know the person. As for our audience, the best use for our app, we think, is any sort of time where a whole bunch of people are meeting for the first time. So this can be a conference or like a Georgia Tech club at the beginning of the semester. But really, this app should be definitely usable for just everyday life and new people that you're going to be meeting.
Cool. So the problem that this app is trying to solve is users forgetting other people's names. So we did a survey of 134 people last semester, and only 5% of people ranked their ability to remember other people's names as 5 out of 5. So 95% of people have the problem of forgetting other people's names. When we asked how embarrassed they were when they forgot someone's name, about 76% of people said that their embarrassment was between a 3 and a 5. So not only is it a common problem, but it is a problem. It has negative consequences when you forget someone's name. Now, when we were trying to figure out how we were going to get all this data, the people's names and their faces, we originally thought you would just take a picture of someone when you meet them. But we asked, were our users comfortable with doing that? And most of them said that they were not. So our solution is to have users upload profile pictures and then join groups where their profile pic is added to the group, and they get to choose which picture they're represented as.
So for the first sprint of this semester, our primary goal was to create a solid foundation that we could work on for the rest of the semester. So the first thing we did was create a basic UI sketch to keep track of the pages, and then we used that to design some more core pages that we could work on for the rest of the semester. And then we made a code base so that we could have to work off of with Node.js as our engine, Express.js as the web server, Embedded.js for templating, and Require.js for the loader. For the second sprint, we implemented the registration page and the login page. Once we had those pages done, we needed a way to track which users will log in, so we added a user authentication to the server. And then to store all that data, we needed to have a database, so we designed and implemented a database. The database has 2 entities, one being group and one being user. A group has a single owner, and a group can have as many users per member.
Sprint 3 is when we actually implemented our quizzes. So this was just for the example of name face, like choosing a random face, a big photo to show, and then some random subset of the names in the group to show. And also some feedback as to whether or not you chose the correct answer. We also implemented data persistence in the sprint so that data was able to persist in between sessions. And finally, also in the sprint, we had designed a QA protocol so that just to help us find bugs and such, and made some more UI updates. I think we added the color scheme and stuff like that.
So for sprint 4, our main goal was to add functionality for the groups. So first, we added a button to allow owners to remove certain members from their groups. So on the right, you can see next to each non-owner's name, you can see a little minus button that the owner can click and remove them. Second, we implemented a feature that allows any user in the application to add themselves or join a public group. So to do this, they need a unique ID, the group's unique ID, and they can search that on the homepage and join it. Lastly, we restricted edit capabilities of non-owners so that only owners can either remove members or edit the group in any way. We also made some UI updates such as improving overall aesthetics, such as the color again, and we also added a display of the group unique ID at the top of the group editor page, so that it just makes it easier for either the group owner or existing members to give that unique ID out to other users who want to join the group. So for SNP 5, which is still in progress, we wanted to finish up implementing functionality in groups. So we added a feature that allows users who are in existing groups to leave that group. Apart from that, we wanted to do some QA specifically for Android and iOS, and just make some more UI updates, such as improving the clean screen UI. We just made it a little more presentable, and to improve the overall flow of the screens we have.
So the key features of this demo is 4 main components. First is allowing users to register, make sure they have their account and they can log in. Second would be the group management aspect, where users can create groups and then also join other groups, search and join other groups. The third main feature was the user management, where group owners can monitor who is in their group and also allowing users to leave the group that they're in. And finally, the most critical part is the games, meaning that users who are part of a group can play 2 sets of games, one where they can match names to a face, or they can match faces to a name within their own group. So we're going to be demoing these features, but I'll say that it's kind of hard to see the screen. I want to make sure that...
Try those light
perfect.
switches over there, see if you can get something off the screen.
Awesome, perfect.
Well, that's better.
Okay, I think we already have it.
Right into the demo. The user will first be in a login screen where the user can either log in or register if they do not have an account. If they would like to register, they must provide their full name and some information about themselves. Let's go with this. And they must provide a picture. Once all that information is provided, we can now move forward with logging into our account. Once the user logs in, they will be taken to the main page. Here, they have a couple different options. First, they can view their profile page, where they can see their picture as well as their email. But in the center of the screen, you have the group section, where they can view all the groups that they are part of, as well as have the option to create groups or search for them. However, right now, since I just created my account, I do not have any groups. So let's change that. First, let's try creating a group by clicking this plus symbol. Here, we provide our group name, and let's hit save. As you can see, I'm immediately added to it as a group's creator. And once I click done and go to the main page, this group will now be shown on my group list. However, being in a group alone isn't much fun. Let's go search for a group. With this, let's go to a different account. This is my good friend, Joe. Right now, he already has his account made, and he has his own group already made called the CS Study Group. Here, as you can see, he has a couple different members, Bob and Elizabeth. I want to join this group, and the way I would be able to search to join this group is by looking up the group ID and searching for that. So if I go back to my original account and search for it, it will ask for my group ID, which I'll provide, 35. As soon as I hit OK, as you can see, I am now immediately part of this group. And if I go back to the original account and refresh it, I'll see that I'm now also part of this group. Here, I can have the option of playing any games associated with this group. Aside from simply just group management, I also have the option to manage users as a group's created. Here, in Joe's account, I am able to remove members in this group. Let's say I no longer feel that Elizabeth should be part of this group, I can remove her from this group. However, if I wanted to leave this group, I also have the option to by simply pressing the leave button, as you can see here. And if you go back to the original page, you'll see that I'm no longer part of this group. However, for the sake of this demo, let's add Elizabeth back again. I can do that easily by clicking this add member functionality. As she is part of this group, I also want to rejoin it, so I simply just provide the group ID again, and I'm no longer part of this group. This leads us to our fourth main piece of functionality, which is the games. We have two options. We can either choose a name from faces or a face from names. Let's go through both these games in this group. Currently, within this group, within this game, it automatically pulls in all the members' pictures, the profile pictures, as well as all the names, and provides me a quiz. So here I see Elizabeth, so I obviously want to click Elizabeth, and as you can see, the notification will provide me the correct solution. If I click the wrong one, let's say I think this is Joe Meachuk's, I will also be prompted to know that this is not the correct. This is a great learning tool to slowly associate names to a face. Let's go to another game. Let's choose a face from names. Here, the name will be provided, and I simply need to match up the picture to the name. Here, if I click on Joe, I know this is the wrong one, as I know Jihad is the correct one. Elizabeth, here's the correct one as well. This is a great way to find two ways to slowly start associating names to faces and faces to names to create a more cohesive group culture where you know everybody in it, and it all starts with a name. Thank you.
That is our demo. So with that, we're gonna transition directly into our Q&A.